Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at cropping and cropping with purpose. Okay, now when it comes to cropping images, often you'll hear people say they never crop, they capture it all in camera. Well, it's a load of garbage, okay? So these two examples here are the perfect example of why I shot with the purpose of cropping. And the purpose with these two was to create a panorama image. So while I was out in the field, and these were captured live. So if you want to see exactly my thought process behind the image and how I was framing it up, these were captured live in the field. And you know, the first thing that we note is there's not much of a sky happening. It's a very plain blue sky, but a nice sunset happening on the horizon, nice strong subject, some foreground interest. So the plan was to crop the sky out and turn it into a panorama. So when it comes to cropping, let me just give you a few tips on cropping. Okay, so in Lightroom, here's our crop tool. Now, for starters, there's a couple of ways we can straighten our horizon. Number one, we can grab our ruler tool, which is right here, and we can just draw along that horizon. So click, drag, release, and that will straighten our horizon. That's probably the easiest way to straighten your horizon. Then over here, we have a few different presets. Now, these are all the basic presets. These are all very common aspect ratios. We have a couple here that are more designed for film, especially 16:9 is more of a video standard. And then we can enter custom crops. Okay, so for example, if we wanted to do, say, an 8:10 image print, so we could then type in our aspect ratio of 8:10, press OK, and then it's going to give us our aspect ratio. So very handy for printing. If you want to print images, you know, if you just want to print a 4:6, that's a pretty standard one that's there. But you know, sometimes you might want to go for a bit of an odd ratio, so like a 3:1 example, and have a very wide panoramic style print. So you know, crop tool gives us lots of options, and it's, you know, it's the first step into editing when it comes to editing. Okay, now with this one, okay, the plan was to create a 2:1 crop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get it down roughly on the horizon. Now, when it comes to cropping, this is where things, you know, it's the fine details that we need to look at. Now, with this one, okay, so I deliberately had the tree as my centerpiece, and then I've got the sun just off to the right-hand side. But more importantly, I wanted all these reflections, all these leading lines, you know, off to the left here. We'll deal with that soon, but, you know, I wanted the tree more as a center point of this image. Okay, so that was the reason for this shot and the reason it is where it is. I wanted the tree kind of to the slight left, the sun slightly to the right. And then we've got some, not so much negative space, but we've got some space for the tree so we can see more of our environment. Okay, so that's how I pictured this. I wanted to show the environment. I didn't want to type, you know, I didn't want to crop in nice and tight. I wanted to show the whole scene. Okay, so, you know, that was what I had in mind. Now, when it comes to cropping, this is where things get a bit tricky, and this is why it's very hard to capture in camera all the time. Okay, so knowing that I was going to do this crop, you know, our foreground, for example, when it comes to our lines, our leading lines, I do like to have my lines. So if we have a look at this one coming in from the side, I like to have my lines coming in from an edge rather than in from a gap. So if I was to come down here, for example, and crop that, we've got a line coming from the bottom of the frame and a line coming from the side. So I just think it looks a little bit more pleasing having a line coming in from the edge or the corner. Okay, so something a bit more like that. Okay, and then what I do is I just do a quick scan around the edge of the frame to make sure there's nothing too distracting that I don't want in the shot. Okay, so, you know, for example, if I was to come down here and try and get this edge to come into my frame, okay, then all of a sudden we've got this little area down here. Let me just do a quick preset so we can just sort of see everything a bit better. Okay, so a bit more like that. So now we've got sort of this area down here that's, to me, that's a little bit distracting. It's kind of in the frame, it's out of the frame, it's not really doing anything. Where if we come up here a little bit, just sort of move that across. And now what I'm going to do is on this side of the frame, rather than include this bit of mud here or sand, I'm just going to bring it in. So then we've just got a little bit of breathing space down there. Okay, and then we'll get that line again and clean it up. Okay, next thing I'm looking at, I want my tree to have some breathing space as well. I don't want to have, you know, I almost want a little bit more sky than that. So I'm just going to bring it up as best as I can. Maybe just go that way just a little bit. So somewhere around about there, just so we've got a little bit of breathing space around our subject. Okay, so something like that. That is what I had in mind for this shot. Now, you know, that doesn't mean that that's the final crop. Okay, so sometimes it's worth just have a look at your scene. Okay, so to me, you know, that looks fine. It looks good. I've achieved everything I wanted. I wanted all this leading lines, the reflection, the tree reflection in amongst all of the sand. To me, this little area over here is a little bit distracting. It's not adding anything to the shot. Okay, over here we do have a lot of negative space or empty space, but we've got those clouds on the horizon that kind of balance out with the mountain range or the hills in the background here as well. So that I don't mind. We've got lots of interest over here in the water. So to me, it's not so much negative space. We're filling our frame with some interest. We've got some clouds, we've got some reflections, and we don't want to crop in too tight for our sky. Okay, now just as an example, what we can do, if I just reset that crop, just to give you some ideas on cropping. So, you know, a lot of people might think, you know, they want to go for that rule of thirds, get rid of all this negative space out here, and then bring it over this way, put our tree on our grid line, got the rule of thirds, got the leading lines, and do something like that. Now, to me, we're starting to bring in this area here, which I don't think is very interesting. Okay, so where we've got no reflections, we've just got this blob of sand. This is one of the stingray lies. To me, that is not adding anything to the shot. In fact, cropping it in tighter is now making this more of a focal point and sort of taking away from all these reflections and everything we had off to the right-hand side. Okay, so alternatively, now if we do want to keep that same crop, we could go this way. All right, and then we can probably even just bring it out even further. I'm just going to bring this out. So we're sort of cropping out that mess off to the side and going something a bit more like that. And again, just sort of watch your border. So I'd probably bring it in just so we've sort of got something nice in there. Again, getting a line out here. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so that's another option that we could do if we didn't want to go for the panorama. Okay, so just sort of, yeah, watch the edge of your frame. Try and only include things you want in your frame. So you could probably even go out there a little bit, get that line lined up. Okay, have a little bit of that coming in from the edge. Okay, so that'd be acceptable as well. Now, how far to crop? If we press the I, if we're in Lightroom and we press I, that brings up information. And to me, it all depends on how big I want to print the image. Okay, so if I want to print this in, like, let's just say A3, for example. We wanted to do an A3 print. We've got plenty of megapixels left over to do an A3 print. Okay, I used to be able to print A3 size images on a 10 megapixel camera quite comfortably. Okay, so megapixels and print, they don't translate all that well. Okay, you only need 5 to 10 megapixels to print an A3 image. Then you need to look at upscaling. Okay, so in other words, a 10 megapixel image is around about 3,500 pixels on the long edge. I tend not to go, you know, if I'm starting to get lower than 4,500 on my long edge, so just as an example, if we were to bring this in, once we sort of get below that 4,500 mark, that's when we start to limit our print size. Okay, so don't be too concerned with print. These days we can upscale, we can do all sorts of things like that. Okay, so that's a good little tip. If we just press the I for info, that will cycle through our pixel dimensions. If you find that you're cropping right in and you're getting down to that 2,000 pixels, somewhere like that, probably better off just, you know, that's where you want to frame it up in camera a little bit better rather than, you know, cropping in that much. Okay, so that's where I do recommend get it right in camera. Get it as close to what you want in camera rather than thinking I'll just go home and then I'll crop it in and see what it looks like. Okay, which is what I did out in the field. I did some nice and tight, I did some nice and wide, took lots of shots from different angles. Okay, so that's the first example. That just sort of gives you some ideas on, you know, look for things in your image that you don't want. For example, this area, look for areas that you do want. But yeah, with this one in mind, I did want to go for that panoramic style print. And, you know, even though this area isn't very pleasing, it's not distracting. Like once we sort of get it in nice and tight, because we've got all of this space out here, our eye is going to naturally go towards the middle of the frame. And, you know, this is sort of out to the edge. It helps draw our eye in. Where if we made it a bit more of a feature, if we were to come over this side, okay, now all of a sudden this is taking up more real estate on our image. Okay, so that's it for that example. That's a good example of different ways we can crop the same image to get different results. Now onto the next image, and this one very similar to the last one. This one I was planning a panorama crop, and to me, like there's a lot not going on in this image. Now I'm not a fan of negative space. You know, I like to have things of interest in my frame. To me, a lot of this is negative space. There's absolutely nothing happening in it. I don't think it adds anything at all to this image. Now, negative space will work with some other images. I don't think it works well with this one. So again, the plan was to go for that 2:1 crop. Okay, so somewhere around about there. So we've got all of our trees sort of as the center point. Now, when it comes to the actual crop, you know, some people might sort of go for that reflection and try and get the reflection lined up. So use your grid lines. Grid lines are very helpful when it comes to cropping. So if you do want to go for that mirror image, you can do something like that. To me, it just doesn't feel balanced. It doesn't feel right. Where if I was to come up this way a little bit more, just give everything space, give everything a bit of room to breathe. Okay, to me, that's a much more pleasing image. And again, let me just put a preset on there so it looks a little bit nicer. Okay, so that to me is a little bit more pleasing. But again, to me, there's still too much negative space at the top. So that's where we can really experiment. And as an example, I've got in here what is called the X-Pan crop, which is a Hasselblad thing, I believe, which is almost a 3:1 ratio. So then we can go for an even bigger crop. And now we're really drawing our eye into the middle and bringing our eye into those trees, which is the focal point of this image. Now, if we had a nice big epic sky, we could probably just leave it. We could leave it uncropped. Okay, so it does depend on what your scene is. So yeah, I shot with the purpose of cropping this image in because I knew the sky wasn't doing much. You know, have a look at your scene. You don't want to try it. Sometimes, you know, it's not a good idea to get in too tight. If we start to get things in close to the edge of our frame, everything feels tight. So give everything a bit of breathing room. Okay, so for example, you know, might bring that side in just a little bit to balance it out. Go with that more panoramic style crop. Get rid of what we don't want to show. Okay, really not a lot happening in the sky. Let's make the focal point more about those trees. Okay, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you did like it. I should be live again soon. I need to get out in the field and do a bit more shooting. So then I've got some photos to work with and to show. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you very shortly out in the field.